Welcome to Silent Podcast, where we are anything but silent. My name is Janelle, and today we are here with Matt, the first evicted house guest for Big Brother 26. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. First off, Janelle, you look beautiful this morning. I'm so excited to continue to support you and the Silent Podcast. And I'm doing great. I'm being out of that house is tough. At the same time, being back in Georgia, being back with mom and pops, it's been great.
Speaking of your mom, what did your mom think of all this? I've seen a couple of pictures of you and her together. What happened when you reunited with your mom? What did she say?
Yeah, well, my mom, like any mom, is very protective, right? And so
Yeah.
she got off first conversation. She's really fiery. She's very concerned, but she's watched my response. She's proud of my response, and because I learned that response from her, right? And so she was fiery. She was ready to bark back, but I was like, Mama, we continue to forgive. You taught me that. And at the end of the day, this experience is so unique. You cannot fault anybody for how that they act in the house, and we should have grace for them, regardless of what they say. But outside of anything, I know who I am, and I know how she raised me, and that's the route that we're going to continue to choose for myself and as a family.
Awesome. Sounds great. I'm curious. We saw like you and Mackenzie, Leah, a couple of your allies really hold court for a while at the beginning of the game in the storage room, making alliances, making connections. I'm curious, have you realized that a lot of talk about Angela was getting back to Angela, and that's really some of the things that got her fired up?
Absolutely. And I think this is like one of the funniest things I've seen like on the outside, to kind of see the perception of it. I've seen so much. So like Matt was holding office hours in the storage room. And I think somebody was like, I had time, but he was in there for 4 hours. And so from my perspective, like I walked in to get an immunity shot. Like I just walked in to like take a little shot of juice. And it was like one person comes. And I'm one of those people like, if you'll talk to me, I'll talk forever, like.
Mhm.
And then I'm kind of like, hey, how you doing? Like, what'd you eat today? And then it's like, what's going on in the game? And then the next thing I know, I'm like, I've been in here for 4 hours. Like, I can't even. And I was thinking to myself, I can't even get out of here. So, I started to think, but you never know where things are coming from. At the end of the day, I think some of the stuff that even was making it back to Angela, in my opinion, it didn't matter because it was common knowledge to me. I was like, she constantly is talking about how much she loves the game. She's commenting on past seasons. She's setting herself as a super fan that we all know is going to strategically look at A, B, C, D, E, X, Y, all the letters in the alphabet. And she was playing a hard, great game in the beginning. Obviously, I viewed her as a threat. And if she asked me, I would have said, I mean, I think you're a really good player, Angela. Like, of course, like in the same way, if we were going to go do a 40-yard dash comp, you would think that I was probably going to compete well in that. In the same way, I think you're good at this game. So, you
Yeah.
know, all the things that I felt like I was saying at the time were any things I would have said if she asked me straight up, 100%.
Gotcha. So also after that confrontation with Angela, we saw you chat with Joseph, and you seemed a little suspicious of him that he might have somehow been behind Angela's coming at you that morning. Can you explain to us why? What made you suspect Joseph?
Well, this is a really funny thing as well, is that Joseph came to me the day before and he said, we need to lock down some lines. We need to lock it. And he excluded a lot of people we were talking about, but really just focused on me and Mackenzie. And of course, me and Mackenzie were closely aligned with Leah. And if we were going to actually go forward with this, I needed to talk to all two of them. So that night, we all get just into a genuine, deep, authentic conversation, excluded from the game. So I didn't get to connect with Joseph that night. But that morning, me, Leah, Mackenzie meet up right before we entered back in and said, you know what? Let's ride with Joseph and Angela. Let's put our game all on the line with Joseph and Angela, at least for this week and the weeks to come. So I'm in the kitchen and I'm trying to get Joseph's attention so I can say, hey, man, let's lock it. And so I'm trying to, use what now are crazy eyes that I didn't know at the time. But I was like, come on. And I'm trying to, but I can't get his attention. And if Angela would have held off for maybe 5 minutes,
Mhm.
5 minutes, I was actually literally going to go up and say, Angela, let's rock together. I want to play this game with you. But didn't wait 5 minutes. The next thing I know, bam, 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 bam. And so, funny enough, 5 minutes could have changed the complete trajectory of the season.
I'm not so sure she would have believed you, but we never know now, right? We'll never know.
How much you did believe.
All right, our very last question. I'm curious, were you a fan of this show before you went in? And how did your experience differ from what you expected?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I definitely was a fan. I don't know if I would consider myself a super fan. I
Yeah.
don't watch a lot of TV just in nature, but my mom actually, when she came to this country, I don't know how much of that story was told, but she used to watch Julie when she came to the United States from the
Mm,
Philippines because she was just another Asian woman public figure, and it helped
right.
her English when she transitioned to the United States. So Big Brother's kind of been integrated into my family for a while, thanks to Mrs. Julie Chen Moonves. So I was definitely familiar. Going in and looking back, yeah, I mean, I would change a lot about my strategy. I think what was difficult from going in to looking back was I was not cutthroat enough soon
Mm,
enough. And
yeah.
so I knew I was working against a lot of my stereotype. I knew people were going to think I was going to be abrasive or I would be a steamroll personality. I just wanted to show that there's a lot of kindness to me and there's a gentle side that you may not see off the cuff. I walked in wearing denim on denim and boots. Like there's no way people are going to think that. So I tried to work that. And then from there, I can strategically say, hey, it's a game. I'm going to have to stab you in the back here, right? But
Yeah.
I did not get that opportunity because I think I set myself up and maybe played a little too fast.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thank you so much for your time. That's all we have today. It was great speaking with you, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Janelle. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.